welcome to this session of mindfulness, awareness, and compassion practice. We'll be doing a series of short practices. We begin with getting settled and grounded, fully inhabiting our body so that our body and mind can be synchronized. And we want to synchronize them in the present moment. So the next practice that we do is a practice of presence and mindfulness, meaning attention to whether we are present or our mind is wandering. And the process is simply having an anchor in the present, which would be our breathing, and then awareness of our experience in the present moment, and noticing when we wake up out of a daydream in case thoughts have taken us away. And I'll give instruction about what to do at that moment. Then once we've kind of stabilized ourselves with some presence, then within that presence, we expand our awareness to our environment. Beyond that, having awareness of our environment, we also have awareness of other beings in the world. And we connect with them and extend kindness toward them and compassion, the wish to remove everyone's suffering. Kindness is the wish that everyone, including ourselves, be happy. Compassion is the wish that everyone, including ourselves, be free of suffering. So we'll conclude with that part of the practice. Now, whenever we do these practices, traditionally, one establishes as an intention that we're not just doing it for ourselves. The practice is more powerful if we include others and we say, I'm not just doing this so I'll feel better. I'm doing this so I can be a better person for everybody that I encounter and be of more benefit to others. So we start with that intention for how we're doing the practice. And then when we close, we reiterate that intention and dedicate the practice that we've done for the benefit of others. So let's begin. Now, synchronizing body and mind. Very often we act like we're in our head and our body's just a transport vehicle. So we want to fully inhabit our body. So what I want you to do, it's good to have proper posture to be as aware as possible of your body. Now, when these practices are done lying down, there's a tendency to fall asleep. If we start learning them standing up, we get antsy and there's a tendency to move. So to be stable and put ourselves in neutral, we're in sitting position, either in a chair, or some people like to do it on a cushion on the floor. Very traditional in more ancient cultures. Wherever you're sitting, just try to get solid and comfortable. If you can, don't lean back against something. And if you need some support for your back, you can kind of tuck a cushion just a little bit under your butt there to give you extra support. But if you have to lean back, that's okay, whatever your condition. The idea is to be as upright and attentive as possible. When we were kids in school, the teacher said, sit up and pay attention. Well, that's what we're going to do. So let's start by paying attention to our posture. Your feet are flat. If you're in a chair, flat on the floor, hip width apart. But if your legs are long, loosely cross your legs in front of you so that your knees are slightly below your hip level. That makes it easier on your back and on your hips to maintain an upright posture. and feel like your spine is a straight line from your tailbone. There's curvature, but just feel like, imagine a straight line from your tailbone, not just up to your neck, but extending, continuing up to the back of the top of your head. When you do that, your chin kind of naturally comes in. And I'm going to turn a bit to the side. We don't want to be looking directly into our computers when we're doing this practice anyway. So you see that we often sit like this with our chin forward and or floating up, or we get drowsy if we tilt it down. But if there's a straight line up the back of our head, our chin comes in naturally, and we're sitting and we're upright and attentive. Let your arms hang down from your shoulders. Leave your elbows where they are and swivel your hands up. Swivel them up so that they're palm down on each thigh, respectively. And now feel your breastbone, your chest, your sternum. Feel the center of your breastbone a little bit above heart level. And let it go a little bit forward and a little bit up. Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. It opens your chest, opens your heart. Your shoulders come back a little bit naturally without you having to. And it's a very dignified and uplifted position. You're actually uplifting your chest a tiny bit. Don't overdo it. Don't strain yourself. And now you have an open front and a firm back, which is the ideal way to engage with the world. We want our jaw to be relaxed, but not hang slack open. So ideally, we're breathing mainly through our nose, definitely in through our nose. So leave your lips just lightly touching or barely parted. Now let your eyes gently close. Move your awareness down to your feet, down to your toes. Wiggle your toes. Feel your arch in your instep. Toes up, you feel your arches. Toes down, you feel your instep. Roll your ankles a bit. For the golfers on this session, moving your ankles and your feet, aware of how they're connecting with the ground. Footwork is really important. Feel your calves and your shin muscles. We're three-dimensional. There's a cylinder of your lower legs. Feel your thighs, definitely three-dimensional. Hamstrings behind, quads on top. Move your thighs slightly forward and slightly back and feel how they connect into your hip joints. When you do that, just a little bit, you can actually start to feel your skeleton, how your bones work. Now we're fully inhabiting our lower body, our legs. Feel your whole pelvic area all the way around, your glutes, your deep belly, your hips and your core. It's kind of the central force area, central energy area of our body. Feel your lower back. If you let your posture relax and slump, you feel your back push back. Then come back up into your posture. You feel the firmness of your lower back without straining it. Feel your rib cage all around. We have a depth to our body, front to back, that we're usually not paying attention to. We usually think of ourselves the way we see ourselves in a mirror, two-dimensional, side to side, top to bottom, but not front to back. Your rib cage, also a cylinder all the way around. Feel your chest, and when your chest is slightly uplifted, you can feel your shoulder blades behind you coming slightly together without you forcing anything. Feel your shoulders. And again, move your shoulders and feel how that shoulder joints are where your arms come in. You can feel your skeleton again that way. Your upper arms connecting with your shoulders, extending downward. Feel the muscles of your upper arms. Feel your forearms. Wiggle your fingers. Get into your arms. Now we're into our legs, our torso, our arms, your shoulders. Feel your neck. How it connects to your shoulders, connects up, downward, connects upward to the bottom of your skull. Move your jaw a little bit, your face, your skull. Now you're fully inhabiting your body. You might even feel a little tingly. We're so not used to it, so used to being in our head and not just fully mind and body one. Now that we have that awareness of our body, let's scan and notice for any tension that we're holding that we might not realize. Just scan down from your scalp, forehead, eyes, ears, cheekbones, your jaw. You might notice a little tension there that you didn't even realize. Just your awareness touching it. Let it melt. Let go of the tension. Let it soften. Let it leave by itself. You can't push it away. That just adds more tension. Just let it soften. Your neck and shoulders, again, feels like we walk around with our shoulders up towards our ears and don't even realize it. Just let them fall. Let them fall naturally. You want to feel like your spine and up through the back of your head is like a tent pole, and you let your shoulders just hang from it like canvas from the tent pole before it's pulled out. Chest and shoulder blades and upper back. Just enough tension in your chest to keep it uplifted, and relax all around it. Soften all around it. Your upper arms, forearms and hands, let it all soften. Rib cage, solar plexus, stomach, deep belly, lower back. Again, sometimes tension in our pelvic area and deep belly that we're clenching and don't realize it. Without losing your posture, just let it soften. Let go. It's okay. It'll be okay. You don't have to hold on so tightly. Glutes, hips, thighs. Let it all soften. knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Now we're relaxed but not flopping. That's the ideal. At ease but upright. Feel your breath. Feel your body, your whole torso expanding as you breathe in, contracting as you breathe out. Let your mind rest down there. Not so much up in your head looking down toward your body. Just drop down and imagine that that's where your mind is, deep in your core, bit below the navel, just in front of the spine, feeling that depth of your body, expanding as the breath comes in, contracting as it goes out. Let your body breathe itself. Like ocean waves coming in to the shore, going back out, doing it by itself. Let your body breathe itself. You can relax. Let go. Let go of control. Be an observer rather than a director or controller. It's quiet down there, beneath the waves of thoughts. It's a place you can always go. But we don't engage in our world with our eyes closed. So let your eyes gently open, about halfway. We're going to start close to us, keeping our mind close to us, our awareness close to us. Focus your attention mainly on that core of your body, expanding and contracting as the breath goes in and out. But aware of the space that you're sitting in. You're looking downward just a couple of feet in front of you, below your eyelids. But you're aware of your body sitting in space. Within that awareness, still thoughts pop up in our mind. They appear and pass through. But sometimes as they go through, they grab our attention and take us off into a series of thoughts, into a daydream of sorts. But the daydreams don't last forever, and when it pops, and you realize, oh, I was dreaming, at that moment you're already awake, you're already back. So we smile and acknowledge with the word thinking or wandering, just one word that's code for I was lost in thoughts, now I'm back. And reconnect with your posture, your core, and your breathing. We'll do that for a couple of minutes on our own. If you've gotten drowsy and your eyes closed, just open your eyes wider, look further out, and pay attention to your breath, feeling it in your upper part of your body, coming in through your nostrils, in your throat, in your chest. Open your chest a bit more. If you feel like your mind is wild and you're spending most of your time off in thoughts, drop your awareness down into your core again and pay a little more attention to the details, the whole process, starting to fill, filling, expanding to the point where it's full, and then the little gap of transition, starting to empty, emptying, and empty. Gap, starting to fill, filling, and full. And attention to all that details occupies your mind, keeps it focused there. As the going fades, just relax, take a break, move around a little bit, refresh your posture. It's not a bad idea to do short periods of these practices and then take a fresh start. So reconnect with your posture. Tune in from the ground up, all the aspects of the posture. Take a nice deep breath and let it out and let all that excess tension melt away. Now raise your gaze, looking out ahead of you not too high, not above the horizon, but just out, aware of the space in the room you're in. Open up your peripheral vision, side to side, top to bottom. Open up your hearing in all directions. Maintain awareness of your inhabiting your body. And now we're going to ride the breath and go out with the breath into the environment. The body breathes in by itself. You'll be aware of it, but the main object of attention is going out with the breath as it goes out into the atmosphere. The breath itself goes out, mixes with the space, the air in the room, and becomes part of the environment, the atmosphere. In the same way, as the breath goes out, open up your awareness to the space that you're in. Let your mind mix with that space and just rest in that openness as the body breathes in by itself. So we'll do a few breaths that way. Out, open, rest. Out, open, rest. And now lessen your effort to push the breath out and go out with it. Just let your breathing be very natural. And open up to the space. Let the breathing happen within your awareness rather than focusing on the breathing. Your breathing is happening. You're perceiving colors, shapes, and shades of light and dark. You're perceiving sounds, near and far, loud and soft, high and low pitch. You're perceiving your body and bodily sensations. You're perceiving your breathing. You're perceiving thoughts that appear, dwell for a moment, and disappear from your mind. Let that all come and go. Whatever you notice, sight, sounds, bodily sensations, thoughts, just notice them without holding on to them. Give labels of what you're seeing, hearing, or feeling come to mind, it's just a thought. No need to elaborate and comment on them. Notice it as a thought coming and going. And if your thoughts take you away into a daydream, just smile when you realize that's happened because you're already back. Go out with your breath and open up to the space. Then just relax in that openness. And as the gong fades, imagine that your awareness opens further beyond what you can see, out as big as the sky in all directions. Imagine your awareness extends out even vaster beyond the sky, out into space. Open farther and farther. Imagine your awareness extends out beyond the farthest star, as vast as the universe. Rest for a moment in that vast openness. Within that openness, beyond self-centeredness. We can connect with other beings. We all have different thoughts, but we all have the same hearts. And our heartfelt wish, all of us, we wish for peace and happiness. We wish to be free of struggle and suffering. You can do this with your eyes open or closed, but this is a contemplation of imagining your loved ones, the people you care most about. And you can pick one or more of them and just imagine them there in front of you. And you know what they're going through. You know what makes them happy. You know what makes them sad. You know what kind of pain or suffering they may be going through. As you breathe in, imagine that you can take away that suffering and open your heart, the heart of compassion. We all have a limitless capacity for compassion to take in, absorb, and transform that suffering and let it radiate out as kindness and caring. We've experienced that in a moment when you see someone in pain or suffering. You immediately go, oh, I hope they're okay. The ooh is taking you, wanting them to not have that pain. The hope they're okay is wanting them to be free of that pain and happy. At ease. Breathe it in, transform, and breathe out the wish for freedom from that suffering. Think about what makes you happy and breathe that out and share that with others. Send that out to them. So as you breathe in, you take away their suffering. As you breathe out, you give them, you share with them what produces happiness. And as best you can, open up to everyone you know or you've ever met. People you like, people that are just acquaintances that you don't feel one way or the other about, people that you have a difficult time with. It's easy to imagine that you can take away the suffering and send happiness to the people you like. It's not hard for people in general. The people you have a difficult time with, there's one that you have the most difficult time with. Oh, that's you. So as you breathe in the difficulty with that person, breathe in your own negative emotions and gather it all into your heart and radiate out to yourself and the other person the opposite, positive qualities. Breathe in anger, breathe out acceptance and forgiveness to yourself and others. Breathe in blame, breathe out forgiveness and patience to yourself and others. Breathe in frustration, breathe out equanimity, calmness to yourself and others. And now, as best you can, expand that to all beings. All beings want to experience happiness and be free from suffering. Imagine you can take away all the suffering that exists in the world and how good that feels to do that, and send out that good feeling. Fill everybody with good feeling, all beings. Take away the causes of suffering, the negative emotions of ignorance, fear, hatred, anger, jealousy, greed. Imagine you can take all that away from all beings, breathe it into your heart and transform it into the positive emotions of caring, kindness, understanding, and love. Send that out to the world. And as the gong rings, let go of the imagination. Open your eyes slightly if they've been closed. Reconnect with your body. Reconnect with the space you're sitting in. Reconnect with filling and emptying as your breath goes in and out. Stabilizing your presence in the present moment. Thank you for your practice. And as we set our intention at the beginning, we want to reiterate that from here we go into our lives thinking, what can I do to benefit others? And so we dedicate the practice in that direction. You can repeat after me or put it in your own words. May the practice I have just done be of benefit to others beyond just myself. And if you're feeling particularly generous or want to cultivate that generosity, it's good to say, may the practice I've just done be of even more benefit to others than to myself. So thank you for your attention, your awareness, and your compassion. And that concludes our session for today.